I'm live. All right, I'm a little peppy this morning, folks. Okay. I'm getting set up. I'm having problems getting Tangi again. So I'm working on pulling her up. I spent like the last 4 minutes trying to figure out my lighting because I feel bright. I feel like I'm glowing. I can't figure out if it's this. It's got to be this window, but when I put a curtain up there, it wasn't doing it. I thought if I turned the lights off, it'd work better. It didn't do it either. And my nose is sniffly. All right, I have to find. Here she is. I got to add Tangi. I got to send Tangi her invite, but I don't understand because it won't pull her up like it used to. Tangi at yahoo.com. There we go. Invited her. Good morning, folks. Okay, I am peppy. I've been over here like my whole way through, getting all settled, making lists. I was literally walking out here making a grocery list. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm a little peppy. All right. So today's thing is, why can't we just get it together? I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So let's say hi to everybody and wait for Tangi to show up. I wonder if Jackie's still in the house. You know, she waits till he leaves to get on there, which I don't blame her because my husband would be like just messing with me the whole time. I'd be trying to talk to you and he'd just be badgering me. And then I'd be like, get in the screen. And he'd be like, no. Good morning, Candy. All right, let me go to the beginning. Wait, Tree, thank you for always being the first one here in the morning. I was answering, so as I was setting up and I could see it running, even though I hadn't pushed live yet, I was looking at Wheat Tree's response and I was like, oh yeah, girl, oh yeah. Brooke, good morning. So Wheat Tree says, to answer your question, why can't we get it together? It's simple. Life happens while you are living and time is constantly moving. Adapt and roll with it. Quit packing 48 into 24. I like that one. That was good. Mindy, good morning. Good morning, Jayton. Good morning, Homeschool Life with Chevy Chick. It's good to have you back. Good morning, Tracy Woodman. I think it's been a while since you've been here. Good morning, Mama Geek. Good morning, Brooke. Look at her, Brooke, after us. Putting the bacon in the oven. Yum. Good morning, my Grace. Good morning, Candy. Good morning, Lindsay. Can't get it together because of pregnancy and homeschooling. Amen. Look, do you see that it's different? And my background is different. I have been organizing and cleaning. So I moved my tables around. I want to show you. And look, there's even a tripod because I plan to get back to videoing. And I'll talk a little bit about that. I was talking to Shalise at Sodbuster the other day about that too. So I have these beautiful tables. They're huge, but we're not getting anything done in the tiny house. I love it. I hate it. It's driving me nuts. So I tried to get my schoolhouse a little bit more back in order so that we can come out here because I haven't been coming out here that much. And I'm actually finding by coming out here, it's very relaxing now that I've opened it up. So I have a table this way because one half, so this half of the table is my son's workspace and the back half is for my printer and my pencil sharpener and some other odds and ends, like community space back there. This table is also going to have, this side is the third grader where she works. This side is the first grader. And so it gives me a spot to sit next to her and work. Okay, that table. This portion is my oldest, and the back portion is the answer keys and everything like that. So we did it just a bit like that. And then I'll show you. This is where I work all the time. You see it? So I have like a little row of things, and then I have this table, a fridge that's not plugged in, and a door. it is a construction trailer and I'm not a decorator. So I've been working here, but it gave me more space. I had a little table. It wasn't that good. It's cute and adorable, but the functioning I need wasn't working. So I moved that here, but I have to get another. I have a desk out in the house that's too big for the house, so I'm going to move the desk in here. All right, I gotta knock the AC down because I'm fixing to burn up. I know I could take my sweater off. I know that. But here's the deal. The complexion I am and the blue eyes I have a lot of red on today. Red does not look good on the computer, on videos. I could have totally, it was like laying down. Who do I look like? Tracy Ullman. Do y'all remember her? The Tracy Ullman show? Didn't she have hair like this? So it was laying down, but I couldn't get it to behave completely like Judi Dench. So I was just like, whatever. I'll put a hat on it. Kind of deal. This is what I really look like. Look, this is, okay, and so we're going to talk a little bit about hair until Tangi gets here. We'll call it the Trish show until then. So what happens is I can get an amazing, I look like this, what kind of chickens are they? This silkies? Not silkies. It's like Sixxoue. Suex. You know, where they got like the little puff and then they're flat. So this is what happened when I'm like doing it up and I got like a great like going. Like yesterday I had it perfect up front and then the back was just like boom, wasn't behaving. So it ended up being a hat day yesterday too. What do y'all think? Crazy. Silkies. Yeah, I look like a silky. My daughter tells me I look like a chicken all the time. I look like a chicken. She's like, and my husband calls it his rooster tail when I get it all going. So it's like, so that's the thing, like you come up, like it looks really good if I take the time and I do it. But because of, and it does that because of the thickness and everybody's like, oh, I'd love to have hair like that. But it also means 100% of the time that I've done nothing to it, it's like that. All right, so we're gonna, remember when they used to wear the hats like this? I can totally go 90s. What was that, the 80s? Right? Right? Oh gosh. So I've been sleeping good if you can't tell. Maybe I should do my thing like this. You know what we'll do? Okay, Simply 7, listen, you see it? You see there's like nothing back here? It's just like, my mama laid me on the back of my head too much. Too much, apparently, because I've got no back nudge. And her mama must have did it to her too, because she's got nothing back there. So when I do a bandana, it doesn't stay. It never stays. Like I made the one, I was like, look, I finally got a bandana that stays. Totally want to sing Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Okay. Backstreet Boys. We need a woman. I'm just saying. Let's talk women. I mean, I can't go. What was her name? Sinead O'Connor. She was really skinny too, so I think she could pull it off. Oh my goodness. So I am in a mood today, if you haven't noticed. Brooke says she can't do bandanas either. Headbands. I mean, even the ones I put here, I'm like, it doesn't work. It does not work. I never did my hair when I lived in Florida. Humidity makes me look like I kissed a toaster. Being only in Florida, I don't understand what doing hair anywhere else is like. Just saying. I have got no idea because I've only lived in Florida. Cyndi Lauper. You know, I saw her in concert. I know I'm a little young to be seeing all Cyndi Lauper because girls just want to have fun. I saw her in concert with Cher probably 16 years ago, 17 years ago. I did. She was awesome. So I think she was, not gonna quote her, I think she was like in her 50s at the time, 60s maybe. I don't know. I don't know how old she was. All I remember is I was young, she was old, and she was like crazy, high energy, awesome. Candy says it drives her nuts when moms won't lay their babies on their tummies. I get so paranoid I flip my babies like a rotisserie chicken. I love it. I just throw fuck Gwinnett, wear a bandana out the door. Yeah, you know, I'm in a new phase in life when parenting is my son is now interested in hair products. He's 11. He is 11, and his hair is made like mine. So sometimes I'm a little bit like, might look a little too much like your mom, and when you and your son wear the same hairstyle. So anyways, my hair stuff is not lasting as long as it used to. We'll just put it out there like this. So I will promise you, I have to have a really short video today because I have to get it together and go do a bunch of errands. And my husband's like, I don't care if the kids get schooled. You need to have a bank account set up for them and you need to do all these things. And I'm just like, seriously? In fact, I actually have to call him because I don't remember what he asked me to do. I was like, kind of deal. So I got to call him back. So this morning in my half sleep, I have yet to have coffee moment. And he's giving me this laundry list and he's like, I don't care if they get schooled. I want them to have a bank account. I'm like, that's great. You want them to have a bank account with money, but forget being educated. That's what I kind of gave him this morning. That was my half sleep, half cocked response. And then it was just kind of like, and that's all I heard. Wah, 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 wah. So anyway. Oh, I love it. Jayton is like, my son was rocking to some AC/DC. There was, okay, so I'm going to tell you, I haven't shared it. I don't know if I feel comfortable sharing it, and I have to find the article. So for y'all who are on Mama Gets Fit Facebook group, which if you're not, you should be, Pork Chop had what looked like a mop flop on the head of it. On the top of his head, was just laying there for a while, begging him to cut it off. And the other day, thankfully, he was shaving it. Yes. Are you done homeschooling for the year? No. We're going to be homeschooling to the end of July is what we're doing. I'm going to have a video on that. I just haven't yet. Good morning, Erica. So I keep sniffling because of my sinuses. Anyway. Oh, you see, I forgot what I was talking about. Where's Tangi? So anyways, if you're not on the Facebook group, you need to get on the Facebook group of Mama Gets Fit. I'm just saying. In fact, I'm kind of needy today. I'm sorry. If somebody will you grab the address for Mama Gets Fit and throw it into it'd be on that side, wouldn't it? Throw it into the comment thing. So anybody who's not on Mama Gets Fit, they can get on there. Because sometimes I just jump on there and make a live video as my mother walks in. Because that was on there. You know what? I'll do it. Wait, where's my mouse? Hey, do you know why I go old school and keep a wire? Because my children can't walk off with it. That's the only reason I use a wired mouse. My kids cannot leave it. Because I've lost so many. I got like the little clippy things, not the USB ports and stuff like that. Okay. You know, we're up to 1,066 members on Mama Gets Fit. Is that not cool? Can you believe that? Tangi started it about a year ago for Finding Wellness. And then, where do I go? Here we go. Okay. Oh, wait, why wouldn't it work? Let's see if I can do it this way. Do I have to take the HTTP out? There it goes. I think that you should be able to click on that or whatever and should be able to get it done. Kind of deal. So I talked to y'all the other day and I was just like, I am done. I am done. So I spent the last month, this is like my Wellness Wednesday all in one batch. I spent the last month kind of like I quit. I give up. I don't care. Remember, I got on here and I was like, I don't care anymore. I don't want to, I just really had a pity party and said I didn't care. Well, guess what happened at the end of the month? Let's say, there you guys are. Was it really a year already? I think she did a year because I mean, like she did it finding wellness. I think she did it. She started it up when she started her path and kind of had some hiccups. And then when we came in and started Mama Gets Fit, she converted it over to Mama Gets Fit in December. So when y'all love on the Facebook group, remember, huge shout out, thank you to Tangi, because Tangi's the reason we got that. It's not me, because I kind of dropped the ball and stuff like that. Good morning, 6 Times Blessed. 6 Times Blessed invited me to come have a play date. She said she's going to come over instead to my tiny house with her 6 kids. I told her I'll be in the back in a tent. I won't be in there. We finished our homeschool year last week, but we are jumping right into the new year since baby is due in October. I'm getting burnt out. I don't blame you. All right, Simply 7 requested join. Sweet. After the show, we'll get that taken care of. So sorry, I'm a little, why that's funny with Melissa at 6 Times Blessed is she has 6 kids. I have 6 kids and I'm in 700 square feet and we live across the country from each other. So she was like, anybody want to do play day? I'm like, sure, we'll come over. Just joking. So remember, I was just along the lines of anybody that comes back and watches this, they're going to be like, this woman is crazy. I was like, I give up. I don't care. I'm going to eat whatever I want. I'm so sick and tired of turning everything into just like, and so Tuesday or Wednesday, I can't remember what day it is. I'm like, all right, I've had enough. I've had enough. I need to get back on it. I finally got on the scale after 4 weeks. Guess what I did in 4 weeks? 7 pounds. I gained. I totally gained 7 pounds. All right, it was looking good. That's falling flat. I gained 7 pounds. So my lowest was 152 in December. And in the course of 5 months, I did a fantastic job putting 17 pounds on. Do we know what that number really looks like? You realize what I'm saying, right? You realize what I'm putting down? See that? That's my number in 5 months. 5 months. Which, I mean, that's like 3.5 pounds a month. Not really, because the last month I put 7 pounds on. And that's the face I make Tangi when y'all are like, can figure out what we're laughing at. Those are faces I make Tangi. 17 pounds. That's half of what I lost last year. I put back on. So, I can't believe I did that. So I will say the one thing I've got going for me is that the inflammation hasn't come back. So even though I've put on 17 pounds, I look a little different, but it's not in my face at all, which is pretty good. Which is really good. So when I got on there and I did my little vent, keto, here I come, blah, 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 blah. I posted that because I was over it all. Yes, 6 Times Blessed. When you stop nursing, you lose weight. Much better. But You only get this time to nurse. I've had those seasons. You only get this time to nurse. So remember, once it's done, it's gone. You can't go back. You can always lose weight. So I found this really great article. The only thing I don't like is the guy decided that every 4-letter word should be in there. It's not like completely loaded with it, but it is enough loaded with it. It's insane. So I haven't shared it for that reason. But what it gets down to is he kind of covers all of the issues why Americans are so fat. And he talks about keto, he talks about carbs, he talks about fat, he talks about calories. I didn't even get through the whole thing because it is a long article. It's backed up, but it has a foul mouth in it. And I kind of ran out of time reading the whole thing. But I got so far and it really hit home. Really, really, really hit home. Because what it came down to is the number one problem is with food journaling. Now, remember last year I said, or in December, I was like, food journal, food journal, food journal. You don't know what you're going wrong unless you food journal. So he said the biggest issue is people do not measure their food and they make horrible approximations. So a lot of times they're only really accounting for half of what they're eating. So they might say they had a tablespoon, but the tablespoon might be 2 tablespoons because they didn't level it. I do that. I will say when I do journal, I am pretty methodical about measuring and making sure I have the right amount, or being very careful on my guesstimates and being very conservative. So like I account for more than what I probably had. He said that was the number one issue. And when it came down to doing no carb, whatever, it all comes down to, as Americans, we just eat too much. And we expand our stomach and we're constantly filling in and we have no concept. And even when we think we're not eating a lot, we are. And the big part is we eat calorie dense food. And that calorie dense food is really what it comes down to being an issue. There's Tangi.
Hi.
Is it? Hey, hold on a second. Brooke's like, I went to the grocery store hungry. 4 packages of cookies. How calorie dense are those? My daughter even commented, wow, Mama, you must have been hungry. I say that stuff too. Brooke, aren't children great for being accountable? Yes. My daughter is 3 in July and still nursing. I think, I will tell you the longest I went was 10, 11 months nursing. And in my situations, I think it actually made my postpartum depression last longer. I told my husband if we did have any more kids, that 2 months is enough. It's not perfect, but being an older mom, I have great kids that did wonderful on 2 months of nursing. And I don't think I would ever go for that long haul again. Because I think over the years, but I mean, there's some women that just are like, but I feel like I'm paying for it now. I'm paying for it now. They're all saying good morning, Tangi.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I'm sorry I'm late.
We figured Jackie was still there.
Yes, he, during the summer, his schedule changes. His hours become more like later and things like that. And so I don't want to do live shows when he's here because, you know, he's saying goodbye to the kids. He's walking through the kitchen, fixing lunch and doing all that stuff. So
that's what I was talking about earlier. I'm like, when Eric's here and it's live show and he's just pestering. They just pester you. Like, I want your attention now. And then it's like, I don't want to be on the thing.
Exactly. So, and then when I came in here to get set up, I can't find my desktop tripod. I can't find my earbuds. People keep moving my stuff. So good morning.
That's why, hey, I told him earlier, I'm like, the reason my mouse is attached to a cord has nothing to do with lack of technology funds. It has to do with the fact that this maintains a distance on how far it goes.
Exactly. And for some reason, this, oh, maybe it's just me. I thought this was lopsided, but it looks like it's under. Anyway. All right.
All right, Bandana, hold on. So Bandana Grandma said she was watching a cooking video, and she said that she was going to add 2 tablespoons, and as she poured in at least a third cup, and then tasted and added more, and says she never measures. Right. That's like, so one of the articles I read, and I was kind of talking about, since, oh, look at this, because I know you haven't been on. This is how much I gained since Christmas. Are you ready, Tangi? Are you ready?
Ready. 17 pounds.
Yeah. And in the last month, it was 7. The last 4 weeks, when I said I quit, I give up, 7 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah, I weighed myself a couple of days ago, and I was up to 188, which is 11 pounds up from my lowest weight loss point. But this morning I was 185. So
I was 196 this morning, so I've gone 2 pounds down.
196?
No, 166.
Oh.
Did I say 196? 166.
I could be wrong.
So anyways, I was reading this article. I haven't shared it because he has a potty mouth throughout the whole article, but it was a fantastic article. So y'all, sorry, I got to recap for Tangi. But I had, so when I got on the Facebook group, and I was like, listen, I'm done. I need to just do something. I'll go keto tomorrow. And then after I posted that, I'd gone on and I found this article, and it just talked about people eating more than they realize they're eating. And when it all comes down to it, it's calories. And most people don't even understand what a calorie is. And a calorie is just a unit of energy that your food is. I know, going to, sorry, I've read that for a moment. And he got into the conversation about the starvation diet, or not the starvation diet, the starvation study. Did you ever read that one?
No.
There was a study done. These men during one of the wars or whatever did a study and were willing to go 6 months on like not even 1,000 calories while still running 4 miles a day. The whole point was to study what happens to the body and the mind in starvation mode and become emancipated, whatever that word is. And I can't even think of the word. But they did it for the aspect, not necessarily because that was a desire of what to do, but so that they knew what would be expected and what to handle. And so the article got into, unless you are looking like this, you're not in starvation mode as much as you think you are. And he talked about why your metabolism will drop when you're not getting enough calories, and why it's actually rebuilding his efficiency. Emaciated. Thank you, Erica. I needed that. I have to read it.
Yeah, I'm only on coffee, so don't ask me hard questions yet.
I've been singing. Listen, I've been in like full mode, giddy, and then I'm like losing my track, my brain thoughts, because I'm going faster than my mouth. So he's talking about like that's true starvation, and he's like, even though we're uncomfortable, the reality is we're not really eating enough. And even though it's like you might stall, you might actually be eating more calories than you think you are. And then when you're eating calorie dense food, which is most processed foods, the packaged cookies and the crackers and blah blah, all those things, you're eating this dense food that your brain isn't triggering. But the big part got into it. It's like, it doesn't matter what you do, just eat less than you burn. The
Right.
end.
Right.
The end. And so I read that right after the thing, and I just kind of went into, you know what? I know what foods are good, but I'm tired of like cutting out my categories because of simply like being terrified of this macronutrient versus this. That's all messed me up. Yes, sugar is not good, but that's all messed me up. And I decided I'd just count calories. Just the old standard count the calories. Mm-hmm. No adjustments for fat, no adjustments for sugar, just plain out calories. And the big thing I did was a couple days earlier, I had posted the fact that I found out that my favorite sweetener is actually making me crave sugar. Really? That was, yes. I'm like a huge time erythritol user. So that's the Pure, the package of Pure. I went through all of my little stevia sweetened stuff outside of my Pure stevia leaves. It all has erythritol in it. So I posted like 2 screenshots. Number one, erythritol will actually turn your body into storing pockets of fat. Wow, thanks, erythritol. Because the thing I didn't like, and I hadn't done, I was like, I heard it was going to be great. And THM said to use it. So it must be good. Well, one of the things I noticed was at first it took me 2 months to go through 1 pound of erythritol. Now I got to the point I could take it down in 2 weeks. And all of a sudden I just wanted more and more and more and more and more. And not enough would satisfy me. But what I also noticed, remember I talked about, like, I felt like I was getting, like, I could feel the cottage cheese that I'd never had before here and inside my legs. And I was like, oh, what's going on here? Maybe that's ketosis. You know, being in ketosis, I'm doing this. Well, after reading that, I'm like, oh, maybe that's erythritol. The other thing erythritol does is it makes you uncontrollably craving sugar sweet stuff. So like the last I couldn't get satisfied. I'm always looking for stuff. And I felt like things were out of control. And I'm like, what is the erythritol doing to me? So I've been erythritol free for, I think, 7 days. My brain's back. Like, I'm not like crazy craving weird things, you know, or out of control wanting to eat stuff. This is huge because here I thought I'd become crazy, you know, really we're going to become crazy because of this. Let's see. I want to go back up there. So I found these things out and I'm like, you know what? I'm getting rid of that and I'm just going to watch my calories. All right. So let's see. Good morning, Compass. Good morning, Danielle. I'm trying to get, I hardly ever, okay. So some of us are still talking about measuring. You're tall like my mom. Okay, wait. I got to find a great post. I posted a great article on Facebook group this morning. 6 times you posted that and the mama gets fit. I'm hoping, or if not, will you? Oliver talks about, sounds like the military boot camp. My husband lost 12 pounds in a week when he was there. Brooke says that's true. Eat less that you burn. Right. Jayton says my son is autistic with sensory processing order and super picky. And you know, let me just say something. Being picky can also be not a bad thing. You don't have to have so much variety that you're always coming up with something simple, you know, or something complex, or constantly thinking. Keeping things really simple. What?
It's just frustrating as a mom. It's just a frustration, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to be healthy. It's just a frustration.
I only make that kid 4 things. I only buy that kid 4 things. I have some, like my kids love rice and gravy and rice and peas. If that's all I made, they'd be super happy. That would make my life super easy. But why am I not content doing that? I should be content. My husband always said not to eat at night because you can't burn off what you eat at night while you're sleeping. But I'm thinking if calories out are more than calories in, it shouldn't matter. I honestly don't think it matters, because if you actually look at the number of calories your body burns straight out just existing, you hardly can touch that exercising. Not to say that exercising doesn't have its thing, because the more muscles you have, the more you just daily burn. But you can, just breathing and sitting on the couch burns a lot more calories than running a marathon. So you are burning calories at night. But I think in the end, it's what goes in comes out. You know, and if you eat more than what you burn, you're going to store it. It's just, you know, that was the big part too, is talking about the calorie aspect. Is it's just, what is it? I'm losing my thought. It's a thermodynamic. I don't want to call it science. I hate calling it science because sometimes that's treated like this orb of mystery box. But it's the law of matter. It's the law of energy. There's a law that states on energy that it cannot be created or destroyed. It just can be used and transferred. And you can't create it out of nothing. You know, it has to be something. So it can't magically disappear. Does that make sense? And like as I'm watching Farmer Mima, because Farmer Mima and I've been going back, and she's like, oh, this has been awesome eating this high fat. Here's what happens. She's eating less calories and her body's just satisfied that she's not looking for those calories. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That's really what's going on there. Her calories are down and she's found a really great eating pattern that's working for her.
Let's clear up something really quick. Stevia and erythritol are natural sweeteners. Stevia.
Wait. Oh, go ahead.
Well, and erythritol is derived from fruit.
GMO corn.
Erythritol?
Yes.
Derived from the pears, the ones in what do you call it? Pure?
Yes. Just found out last week.
Because I'm
going for the.
When I started, I was like, I don't do artificial sweeteners, and I looked it up, and it said that it's a natural occurring sugar found in fruits like pears.
GMO corn. Yeah. Depressing, isn't it? Oh.
All that.
Yeah, look it up. Thank you. Hey, do you like my wild look today?
I do. I always love when your hair's up like that.
It wasn't a hat. We started in a hat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I want to go back. There's some good ones in here we missed. They're chatty. Is stevia. Okay, so stevia is actually a plant. I'm using pure stevia. The erythritol, come to find out, is derived from a GMO corn. Unfortunately. Oliver came back during the boot camp. He lost to 12 pounds. He was overweight. So he was on a ration diet and got down to 168 at 6.4. Wow. That's me with another like 8 inches right now. I wanted to share with everyone that the Summer Lifeway is offering 2 Bible study video sessions for free. All you have to do is get the Bible study book and they'll provide the videos. Mommy Geek, will you post that in the Mama Gets Fit? Please. The link, email it to me. I'll share it on the Just So Trish page. Please. Kind of deal. If your metabolism isn't running, you're dead. Your metabolism is constantly running just to keep you breathing through the night. Amen. Jayton said he's a big milk drinker and cheese eater, but he doesn't eat much else. He's like a baby calf. Tangi, did you freeze?
Huh?
No, you didn't freeze. You moved. I'm like, you didn't find that funny when I called him a baby calf?
No, I was reading. What did you say?
Oliver says that wait, was it Oliver? No. Jayton says that her husband is a big milk drinker. No, maybe this is her son. A big milk drinker and a cheese eater. He doesn't eat much else. I said, he's like a baby calf.
Mm-hmm.
And baby calves grow up to be big and strong.
They do.
And they eat salad all day long.
That's right. They eat grass. Okay.
They eat grass.
All right. So I'm going to read you, because I was trying to find a resource that I trust, and I chose a blogger.
Sorry.
That's Wellness Mama, though. So she's got an article on her blog called Erythritol Safety. Is it a safe or healthy sugar alternative? And it says, let's see, it's a sugar alcohol naturally found in small amounts in some fruits and fermented foods. This includes wine, sake, beer, watermelons, pears, grapes, and soy sauce. Some scientists detect it as naturally occurring in low levels in the human body. Then she goes on to say, erythritol used today is produced by fermenting corn or wheat using the fungi, big long word that I can't pronounce. While real sugar has 4 calories per gram, xylitol has 2.4 calories per gram. Erythritol is much lower in calories at 0.24 calories per gram. So this means it's about a 60 to 80% the sweetness of glucose for the same volume. So there you go.
See, but I think the way, yeah, so like even though it naturally occurs, what they're selling in the store is coming from corn.
Right. Well, yeah, and that's like the case with everything.
I think a little bit's okay, but when I'm eating half a pound a week is not.
Right. Well, but here's the thing, like with Pure and with Truvia, this is something that my daughter had to learn the hard way because she got into mommy's stuff and didn't ask.
Did her stomach have a problem?
No, just she was like shocked by how sweet it was because she used it in the same amount that she would have used sugar. And Pure is like twice the sweetness.
Oh yeah.
Or actually, I use not even half. I use like a fourth of Pure as I put the sugar. Anyway, so like literally when I use it to sweeten my coffee, I just like dip the tip of my spoon into the Pure. But anyway, so yeah, so you definitely use a lot less of it. But if you're using it juxtaposed to white sugar, if you're buying white granulated sugar, that's GMO beets. So it's like, at least this way you're using a lot less. If you want to look at the silver lining, which I tend to do. So, good morning, Mustard Seedish and Mama Butterfly.
So I will say I am really oversimplifying the whole calories in, calories out. And I know insulin plays a part. I did catch that. I think that was Erica or Wheatree. I am oversimplifying it. And I'm oversimplifying it because I just can't take any more information in making food decisions. And so when I started back on, I was almost like, okay, I'm going to do no carb. And I was just like, or I could just make good choices that I've learned that are good choices and just count the calories so I know I'm in check. So I'm not being a calorie Nazi. I shouldn't use that word. Dictator. I'm sorry. I shouldn't use that word. I'm not being a control freak on calories, and I'm not letting that dictate my life in that dictatorship kind of legalistic form. I'm just using it to kind of keep a count. There's a lot of things I'm not even logging, like fruit, vegetables, any of those things. I'm not logging it. I am using it to just track it, but I'm just making reasonable expectations. So most mornings, it's not a lot of carbs, because I made those egg muffins that have been doing the trick. And the big part is I'm just trying to, there's this article, there was a video, I don't know, there was this thing like seven steps to like a healthy thing. And it's like making sure you are toxic free, keeping the toxins out of your home so your body can operate. And making sure you have nutrition, because as a nation, we are overfed and undernourished. And I think we've talked about that in the past, just the junk and stuff, and making sure you get it. But then the other aspect is the soil is not the same anymore, and the nutrition we had in our food is not the same as it was 50 years ago because of, all the big agriculture aspects.
Right.
So you do have to get a good multivitamin, but then half the multivitamins, like, you don't go to Walmart and buy your vitamins. I don't care. That stuff half the time is actually causing free radicals in your system and actually destroying what it was in the capsule with when it gets in your body. But, having nutrition, taking the fiber, what are the other steps? I don't know. If you message me on Just So Trish, I can send you the link for it. But, making sure that you are, and just eating right, just eating right kind of deal. And so I'm trying to stay in count of that, and I feel like I'm getting somewhere with it. I'm not going crazy over food again, which is a really big thing, and letting things go and just kind of tracking. So I was like, okay, first day on keto, I did the muffins. Well, and then we had a long morning and we ran to Wendy's, and I was like, you know what? I don't give a toot how many carbs, whatever. The sign says 300 calories for a junior cheeseburger deluxe. That's what I'm getting. With a big Diet Coke.
Of course. Yeah.
Of course. And 4 French fries. I just had 4. But it was nice because I was like, I don't have to overthink it, overanalyze. I can just say, I'm in a good limit here at 300 calories. And I'm doing it on iTrack Bites.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Great app.
I love that you can switch between plans a lot. So like here was like, look, I don't know if y'all can see.
Mm-hmm.
That is my, so in the beginning, so April 20th, I was 161.9. I was 160 whenever I started. And then I've just slowly gone up. So I'm working my way back down. And, when I measured really high the day where I was like, I'm over it, on the 15th, that was the day after Mother's Day. We went to like this Southern style gourmet kitchen restaurant. I don't know.
What else did you have? Because that sounds good.
Oh my goodness. Okay. If we're gonna go there. Well, it was funny because the place is called Leroy's. It's in Punta Gorda. It's this little town near us. And we went there, and so we thought it was a barbecue place, and we're sitting in there and we're just like, we're not understanding what we're reading because we're like, it has a big pig on the front. It was fantastic. It was adorable. Like you would go nuts if you went there. It was so adorable. Plywood floors with like branding on it. Everything is served in mason jars. All the drinks,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I'm dying laughing. I was like, it's a little high class.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to pretend not to be high class or something. But so the first thing we got was okra. So I'm like, yeah, order us okra. We need okra. Never in my life have I had fried okra that was the entire okra. Yeah. But
I've made it that way before.
I never have. I will say I still like it in little pieces because you can pop them.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with them long is that they might still be hot inside. I wasn't prepared for that. So we got 2 rounds of that, devoured that. It was good. And then I got fried green tomatoes. Mm-mm.
They weren't good?
They're different. I'm like, I ate them. I'm like, I like mine better.
Yeah.
I kind of said that through the whole night. I like mine better. I like mine better. I like mine better.
That's fun. It's funny because when I started staying home with the kids to homeschool, we stopped going out to eat so much. And it was like, so when we do go out to eat, it's a treat. And there is nothing more frustrating than going out,
spending a pile of money.
And I could have done better at home. It's
every time.
Frustrating. So frustrating.
Every time we go out to eat, I will eat it. I'm like, yeah, I could have made this better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the tomatoes, they wedged them and fried them.
Wedged?
They fried them wedged.
That wouldn't have been good. There's too much tartness. You definitely need it in the slices.
It gets better. They fried it where it had like a crispiness, like it was bacon, which could be good.
Mm-hmm.
Except they served it with fondue cheese. No, we didn't finish that.
That doesn't sound great.
I'm like, you just drench it in flour and cornmeal and fry them, and they're fine. You maybe a little ranch dressing, maybe.
Right? Yeah. I like them with like a ranch horseradish sauce.
Yes. That's how you should eat them. And I was just like, maybe a little paprika on top when you're done. That's it. Just leave them.
I agree.
So we had that. I will say the French fries and the burgers were fantastic because I had to have a bite. Mm-hmm. And then, but I had jambalaya. It was huge. It was good. It was actually really good. I enjoyed it because I haven't made jambalaya for so long. And then as I'm eating it, I'm like, why am I not making jambalaya? I should be making my kids jambalaya. We are totally losing. We're like having our own conversation. Sorry, ladies.
Well, they're talking about sweeteners. 6 times blessed. Oh, wait, first, let me go back.
Ooh, the healthy nerd.
So they're talking about if you buy sugar, make sure it says pure cane sugar to avoid the GMOs. Then, let's see. House of Littles said that she made sloppy joes from the THM cookbook and had it flatbread to stay on plan. Said it was really, really good, so I'll have to try. Erica brought up the point, don't forget about how stress works against your metabolism, which, boy howdy. Let's see, 6 times Bless said, I use organic cane sugar, real maple sugar, and honey in moderation. Those are all very good sweeteners.
Oh yeah, when I jumped off of erythritol, the first thing I did was pull out the sugar canister, real sugar, folks, real sugar. I will say if y'all have Dixie sugar in your stores, that's coming from the cane fields my husband grew up running in. Just saying. Go ahead.
Losing weight slowly, but losing inches really fast. She said, I only have coffee creamer in my coffee for my sweet treat each day, but I focus on including protein, fruit, veggie, healthy fats, and carbs. You're doing excellent. And I saw she posted a video of her baby walking. He's taking steps. And you looked really, really good, Melissa, in the video.
My mom and I had this conversation because my mom looks fantastic. Oh my goodness. I keep teasing her. I'm like, you're fixing to pass me, which, hasn't happened ever in her life. And I'm like, Mom, you're fixing to pass me. And she's like, but I'm not going down in the scale. I'm like, but your inches, she's just shrinking. And I said, well, here's the deal, Mom. Would you rather be 180? Would you rather be 130 pounds, but look like 180? Or would you rather be 180 pounds looking like 130? If you had to pick. And it's like, oh yeah, does a scale really matter?
Right.
As I'm like fixated on the scale.
Exactly. Do as I say, not as I do.
I need to measure, and I just haven't been out here long enough where the measuring tape is to measure, because I want to measure my arm, because that's the one thing that's really hit home is that my waist hasn't changed, but if I had, why I like the long sleeves, if I didn't have my long sleeve on, I think I put on 8 pounds just in my arms, which is really, I've never gained weight like that before. Ooh, Peace and Pantry says she likes coconut sugar.
I don't know that I've ever had coconut sugar. Does it taste like coconut? Because I love coconut. Probably doesn't, I'm guessing. But right. I love coconut.
I really want
I'm in the garden. I've been in the garden like almost every day for about an hour. It's like, and not because I have to, but just because I want to. So I'm like, it's like, oh, look, there's a little tiny weed. I better pick it. Boop. Just try to find reasons to be outside. But
House of Littles. Everglades seasoning is loaded with MSG. I used to be the biggest Everglades seasoning. If you're from South Florida, we don't salt and pepper. We just Everglades our stuff. But it has a huge amount of MSG. But there's they only sell it small canisters. It's yellow. And that one's MSG free. And I don't even own it.
Is that like is it like a seasoning salt?
It's a seasoning salt. We don't do No Lowry's. We do Everglades.
I've never seen it, but I don't live in Florida.
Right? Maybe if I ever send you a birthday present, I'll add some MSG-free Everglades.
Ooh,
I said it because it's still sitting in the same spot. I won't send it without ironing it, and I just haven't done that. Farmer Meemaw's crying. Because you don't hit the bell on my channel, Farmer Meemaw. That's why you can't get a notification. Hit the bell. Listen, the way I'm going, the only time it's going to ring is on Wednesday mornings because I've yet to make videos. Even though I finally am like, I'm ready to talk. I need to make videos. I haven't made them.
I've got a video that I've made over the last 2 days, but really it needs to be 2 separate videos because I was going to try to do like day in the life kind of thing, but basically it's 2 separate things. One's where I'm gardening and one is where I'm just, doing housework and so like, this is what I did today.
You know what I need to do? I need to do a faux day in the life. Like, what's Trish been doing? I'm going to make you a video. Where's this? I can't find this. Have you seen have you seen my stapler? Do you know where my stapler is? Get to work. Why is the laundry not done? And I mean, just me randomly walking around talking to myself, getting nothing done. That is me.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, I thought about that too. It's like when I do film day in the life type stuff, it's like I'm more accountable for my time. It's like, oh, it seems like I just get more done when I do day in the life videos because I'm staying on task because there's nothing distracting me. I'm just doing my thing.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm getting more productive because I'm finally getting to the point, like, I don't know. So I started taking some supplements that I don't know are just helping. And I won't lie, like the main supplement I've been taking since March. And I'm actually started because I've been doing some different research, and the supplement's supposed to help with inflammation. And I'm starting to link, like, I don't know if I lost the inflammation from the keto diet or from enough time on the supplement, on the vitamin. Because I'm like, wait a minute, because in the 17 pounds I put back on, I haven't chunked out in my face after I got and did the colon cleanse and all of that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't chunked back out. So I'm hoping like that's it. Sorry, I was waiting out there for a minute. I'm hoping that's it. Anyway, what's my point? I don't know. So I feel like I'm finally getting to it. And I think it's from just having a good vitamin. I don't know. I'm assuming so.
Yeah, I said I really think that I think we both need to have that vitamin panel done.
Because you can do that?
Mm-hmm. He's been complaining a lot of being tired. I'm always tired. But I know I tend to stay anemic. So, but I've been taking a supplement. But I need to get vitamin B12, and I need to get some high doses of vitamin C, so that way we can, because vitamin C helps you to absorb your vitamins. But yeah, I need to do that. But yeah, definitely you can do a vitamin panel to see what you're deficient in.
I should do that. Nora says there's snow in her yard today.
Yeah.
It's the only thing Arctic about Florida is my building, because I keep it that low.
Yeah.
The nice part about having like 500 square feet is you don't mind like making it Arctic frozen inside, because you're only ACing a small part of it. And actually, and even that, I'm only ACing about half of it. 200 square feet, man, you can freeze yourself out. That's how I do Florida summer.
Yeah, we've been having some gorgeous weather here. Yesterday, the sky was blue. There wasn't a single cloud. I think it got up to almost 90 degrees. It was awesome. And the humidity was low, which was unusual. We usually have really, high humidity here, but it was gorgeous.
Mustard Seed, are we praying for you in the cheesecake or for your son being 21, or both? Just asking. I think it's for you in the cheesecake. I'm writing it down.
Yummy.
And I love magnesium and kombucha has changed Farmer Meemaw's life. And don't forget, keto has changed Farmer Meemaw's life. Mama Farmer's life. You like that? I'm really on a good dose. So I'm like, I'm getting ready to put the dry erase board up. I'm kind of rearranging my living room so I can start making lists. I had my notebook. I was making my grocery list coming over here. I'm like, I need to get back. I used to be a crazy type A list maker. And somewhere in the midst of that, I think the postpartum, the decade of postpartum, I just kind of like threw it out the window and said, let's just exist. Mm-hmm. And now coming out of not about this time after having a baby, I'd be pregnant. I mean, I could be like months away from having a baby, mm-hmm. and I'm not pregnant. And mm-hmm. I think my body's is fighting this, like wanting to wake up and get back into where it thrives. But then it's like starting up an old machine. We're oiling it. It's like slow. It's like fighting to start up. So that's what I kind of feel like I'm doing. Peace and Pantry says Tangi Vitron C is an iron plus C that doesn't give you a nasty side effect. If you know what I'm saying.
I do know what you're saying. It's funny because oh gosh, it's been I guess probably 4 or 5 years ago. I went just had like a just a physical everything checked, and they did the blood work and everything. They called me the very next day and they said you have to come in right now. They said your platelet levels are really really low, and so I went in and they were like, if we don't get this under control, you're going to have a transfusion and all this other stuff. And so they wanted me to take a high dose of iron. And I was like, I already have issues with regularity. Like, this is going to kill me. So I'm like, I'm not taking your synthetic high doses of iron. So I went to our local crunchy granola nutrition store, and Garden of Life, which if you're not familiar with Garden of Life, they are a vitamin company that makes their vitamins and supplements from organic freeze-dried fruits and vegetables. And so they have a supplement called Healthy Blood. So I took the Healthy Blood, which is supposed to be a blood builder, and I took that with a high levels of organic vitamin C supplements. And when I went I check out, my blood had gone back up to its proper level. So
I have to answer Rosalind's. Go ahead.
I was gonna say those Garden of Life healthy blood supplements are naturally full of probiotics. So you actually have the opposite effect. You become regular instead of the opposite, like you would with synthetic iron.
Rosalind says, I have random questions. She's pregnant and she's 11 weeks and looks like she's 6 months because her hips are widening. How can she stop it? Number one, what number pregnancy is this? Because you look more and more pregnant sooner with more and more kids you have. Mm-hmm. Second, you are probably widening out because of where the baby's sitting. Okay, I'm from my experience. Let me put that in there because I'm not a doctor. I only play one on YouTube and Pinterest. My MD comes from Pinterest, and I only play one on YouTube. My hips widened out when I had one of my babies was attached in my uterus down close to my cervix. I actually had one that was like, here's your cervix, and the baby was attached like right here. And if it would have been any bit lower, it would have been a problem for when my cervix opened. The unattachment would have happened then. And it caused my hips to widen out. I had the best looking butt of my life during that pregnancy. And afterwards, I was really thrilled because my hips stayed wide. And I was like, oh, I finally have a waist because I have wide hips. Immediately, within 4 days, my hips went back in. I was so sad. I was so, so sad. So what I will tell you is, leave your hips alone. God has made your body to be amazing. And if your hips are widening, it's because you need the room. And He knows best. And in the end, if you get to keep your hips wide, consider it a blessing. And if not, realize they all go back together. Be kind to yourself and let your hips be. That's the only advice I have for you.
I would say that's good advice. And she said this was baby number 4. And also our friend Brandy, she is pregnant with baby number 4, and she also started showing really, really early. So yeah.
I will tell you right now, after 6 babies, actually 8 pregnancies, 6 babies, if I was pregnant right now, I would know because I would show probably the moment we conceive. Mm-hmm. Because my body knows what to do. It just pops out. Right. It just pops out.
I posted the link to the supplements that I was talking about. So it's for those who are coming back to watch the show later, it's www.gardenoflife.com and search for the Healthy Blood supplement.
Are you there? Oh. Yeah. Hey, have y'all noticed like it keeps changing? It looks different.
It does. It's like your hair's going down.
Yeah. I got that mustard seed. Just by the way, I got that. I'm writing prayer request. We should be writing prayer requests by now. It's 9:30.
Oh, yeah.
We should be writing prayer requests. Oh, 7 C-sections here. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh.
You know, I did both. Of course, I know every single birth experience, every single pregnancy is different. They're like snowflakes. No two are the same. But
Amen.
for me, with my daughter, we did natural vaginal childbirth, and it almost killed me, and literally. And then, so with my son, because of the damage that was done with giving birth to my daughter, I had to have a C-section with my son. They said you can't do that again. So with my son, I didn't lose any blood, and because it was a C-section, so it was a controlled situation, and it was planned, so it wasn't an emergency. But I healed faster. I was like, oh man, this is crazy amazing how much better I felt having a C-section as opposed to having my daughter.
I do want to put out here that Miss Wanda is here from Deep South Homestead. And she said she had 5 kids with 3 home births, and that was over 25 years ago. Well, and that was with me. I've had 6, and the last 2 have been home births. And I will say the last one was probably the best labor I ever had, and it still hurts. There's nothing you can do about it. They don't fall out. I hate when people are like, well, this one's just going to fall out. I'm like,
And they just gonna walk
no,
right
it
out.
doesn't.
Yeah, it's like, no.
You got to walk out. You've
No,
done
God
this so
would never
much.
put that curse on the woman that we should travail in childbirth. Yeah, that just kind of sticks.
Well, and it was funny because I'd watched Ion Anna something Gaskin. She's a midwife, and I'd watched like she did this like 7. There's a 7-8 part video of her talking in Sweden about just like the whole thing of being a midwife and all that. That was the best labor coaching I've ever had in my life. I watched it over and over again the last 2 weeks, and I learned I didn't have to push. You don't have to push.
Mm-hmm.
So I told my midwife, and I'm a little bit like a kind of take charge kind of person. I told my midwife, I said, I've been watching Anna Gaskin, and I'm not going to push. And she's like, I doubt you can do that. I said, do you want to make a bet? I did not push. And it was amazing what happened, what my body did by not pushing. And I learned about counter pressure. Counter pressure does a lot during contractions I never knew about. When you're in a hospital, it's like, keep your hands out of the way.
Right.
And the reality is, get your hands in the way and apply counter pressure. Amazing things happen. And they did. And when it hurts so bad, don't push through the tear. Don't push through the burning. Counter pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I can. I'll post that in my on Facebook. I'll post it on Facebook in my page.
You can't go back and change anything, but if I knew then what I know now, I would have done things so differently. And it's funny because I was talking to a friend of mine who's very all natural about everything, and I said, I wish I had known. I had a lot of medical intervention when I had Emily, because they measured her to be big, and they wanted to go ahead. They took her a week early, so I was induced with her. And so anyway, so I was talking to this friend, and I said, well, if I wasn't in the hospital, I probably would have died because of the things that happened. And she said, honey, some of the things that you experienced was because
you were in the hospital.
Yeah. And she said, she was like, did this happen? I said, yes. She said, did this happen? I said, yes. She said, did they give you this medicine? I said, yes. She said, that's why all that happened. She said, if you had no medical intervention, then that wouldn't have even been a problem. I was like, wow, I didn't realize that. But what's done is done.
Yeah, because it ended up at the end. It ended up at the end of my delivery of my last one. She had crowned, her head was there. And then finally, my midwife's like, okay, seriously, push now. Push. I want you to push. Because she's like, you haven't pushed. I'm like, I'm not pushing. This child will come out on their own. And it was amazing because I could actually feel her progress by not pushing and fighting it or helping it or any of that. And so finally she was like, okay, you can push now. Please push. And we're done. And I said, okay, so the next one I pushed. Well, here's the thing. I wasn't exhausted and I didn't exhaust those muscles. When I pushed, the child shot out 4 feet. You know, a child shot out. And now I was in a pool too, so that kind of helped. I was in a pool in my dining room, and that child took off. I mean, if there wouldn't have been a wall, the kid would have kept going. She hit the pool wall, the wall in the pool. And my husband was just like, whoa. And I was like, well, I wasn't fatigued. I didn't push.
Right.
You know, kind of deal. And I really think if I would, it would have just gone another 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes if I wouldn't have pushed. She would have just come out on her own. Kind of deal. Yeah, the pushing has done more tearing damage than possible. Yeah, how do we get into babies?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Mom
I did make a note.
Fit, so.
It fit. So getting into like, why can I not get it together? I really think stress has a lot to do with it. I really think sometimes I want to just kind of tie in some of my reasoning for my topic. Sometimes, you're in immense stress. You kind of have to set things up efficiently. And then when you're trying to like do what we do, take care of so many people, try to be healthy, be careful that you are truly putting things in your body that are causing health, not havoc. Mm-hmm. And that's where I'm at, where I stand with the erythritol, is I think I was causing a lot of havoc by thinking I was choosing health. The other aspect is realizing being on a really good vitamin is huge. Getting your probiotics is huge. And it might not happen immediately, but it will come into play. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and like we say in every show, do your own research. Decide what's best for you. Don't go by just what we say, because we're talking about our own experiences, but we're all different. So,
because we only play doctors on YouTube.
Exactly. Oh, I was going to say, who was it? Mama Butterfly said she didn't push with her 7th baby. Baby just slipped out. She said with baby number 1, she pushed for 6 hours and tore her bottom in 3 places. I didn't push for 6 hours. I only pushed 3 times and my daughter came out, but I had the same situation, which is why I had to have a C-section with my son. My doctor said, you can't do that again. I won't be able to fix it. And so, yeah, so I feel you, girl. I feel you. I know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. I'm super nervous about our natural birth, but I'm praying. Okay, Oliver, make sure if you don't see that I posted it, actually, Oliver, go to Just So Trish on the fan page on Facebook, send me a message, and I will send you a link to all of them, all the videos, and just harass me and talk to me, and I will be with you through this.
He said, I have a praise. My husband found a better job. Woo!
Who is that?
Peace and Pantry. She said, pray God will keep us through the changeover in June. That is awesome. Let's see.
I'm writing them down.
Okay. Tracy Woodman says, I need prayers for my son. He had an accident on the way to school and kids picked on him really bad. He came home really upset. He is 13 years old and severely cognitively impaired. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. Nora needs one for her husband's job. So I kind of had a realization today and yesterday. I have 3 homes. This goes back into my same rant. And listen, I know it's a first world problem. This is probably part of my headache and my heartache, because my husband and I look at each other, we're like, first world problem. Totally having a first world problem. I have 3 houses. One of them's not in the location I need to live or want to live in, and which is the house that we left, that doesn't sell. We finally kind of came to the realization that maybe God doesn't want us to sell it yet. It only took 3 years to figure that out. Maybe he just wants us to rent it and own it for the long haul. So we're preparing for that. Mm-hmm. I have a house that needs a lot of work because it got flooded and it has black mold. but I will never sell it to somebody because I don't want somebody else to ignorantly or foolishly live in it, you know, more or less foolishly, or rent it out ignorantly. I am living in a 700 square foot home with 6 kids. My husband's like, but there's people all over the world that are doing it. I go, I don't think most of them are thriving.
Right.
They might be doing it, but I don't think it means they're thriving. I think it's foolish to think that everybody thrives. Everybody can thrive in this. I'm having a hard time. And so we keep going back and forth. And one of the things I really want to do is go buy a mobile home and put it on the property. But in my heart, I feel like it's so foolish to do because that would create a house number. And I feel like, am I really moving ahead?
Right.
Right. I want to grab. Oliver says, need prayer for my youngest too because they're having some breathing issues that need to be addressed, but money is tight. Is that like asthma kind of deal? Right. So that's Oliver. Kids, breathing issues. So I'm having kind of issues with that. And then I look at it and I keep going 6 times less. A new baby in the family was born with severe cleft. Okay. Family, baby, cleft. See, I'm making sure I get this in the midst of my stories. Today was the last straw. We will be homeschooling both kids next year. So for Tracy, homeschooling kids. Okay, homeschooling. Asthma, and I use oils. I have asthma and use oils. Today was the last straw. Yes, 6 times per. I believe you're freezing your daughter. This one? Probably. Doesn't everybody like to cuddle when they do work? I don't make it cold enough for your fingers to be cold because I can't handle that. Yeah. Okay, so going back, when it comes to doing the mobile home, I'm literally going, well, we probably will maybe use it for 10 years and then we'll build something. And the reality is at $90,000, that was $9,000 a year. That's less than $1,000 a month, cheaper than rent. This is how I'm justifying things. Because I realize in the long haul, I'd really like a site-built home. And I like, not necessarily that the mobile home isn't the quality. I'm happy with the mobile home. But the things I want, you know, like the big sunrooms with the windows, to get them the way I really want them, I want a site-built home. And so the biggest thing is trying to maintain my emotions and my wants in check with logic.
You're speaking to my heart, girl. Not about home stuff, but stuff.
I'm to the point, because remember I said I will never move back in my mold house. I am to the point walking in there going,
I can make this work.
Wouldn't it be easier to make that work for 3 years or 2 years? You know what I mean? Now, granted, I can't go in it the way it is. And my husband and I've gone back and forth because we just put a new roof on it because it needed a new roof. And we were going, you know, he's like, I got 6 years. We'll probably have a kid living in it. In the next 6 years, I'll get it fixed up so we can have somebody living in it. And I'm along the lines of, okay, but you know, and I'm like, how much would you spend? He goes, he's like, if I put $20,000 in it, it'd be fantastic. And I'm going to myself all of a sudden, I'm like, why don't we just put $20,000 in that house? We spend the least amount of money and then it's rentable during the times that it's not needed to be used. So I'm a little bit going to I'm like, and you know, at the same time, I'm like, Lord, soften my heart. So I don't know. I'm going to talk to my husband. I'm like, let's just do a huge renovation on that house. So then when we are ready to build, we can accommodate and use it as a rental. You know what I mean? But I feel like at least it puts us in a productive place.
Right.
I need production. I need productive space kind of deal. But I'm like, but we're moving walls and we're doing all kinds of stuff and we're redoing the kitchen.
Yeah. Now, have you looked like how much it's going to cost to get the mold taken care of? Aren't you going to have like, that's going to be an issue, right?
We, in order to make that house livable, stripping it down to studs.
Yeah.
In a lot of rooms.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's got to get done no matter what over the next 6
Right.
years. So why not do it now and then move in that? And
yeah, and then be back on your property that you love so much.
well, and I'm here and I'm living just across the street
Right.
from it. You know, I'm here, so it kind of works out good. But yeah, we I think it's called a bait. Shannon White's asking, can you abate? Yeah, because it's in the ceiling. And it's not attic space. It's a good Florida. My roof, my ceiling to roof is only that wide,
Wow.
that thick. It's a good, and where the mold is, it's a good Florida ceiling. It's only that thick. So we would literally tear it down. And now that we put the roof, because we couldn't fix it until we put the roof on. So now that the roof's on, we just have to tear out the ceiling and have somebody do that. And it's not a huge space.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of deal. So I'm just like, maybe it's time to pull, you know, but the whole place is full of stuff in it, just full of
Right.
stuff, you know. And I'm like, whatever, it'd be cheaper to rent a dang U-Haul and stick the stuff in the U-Haul until we get it done. Because I mean, that's what we did. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. But I'm like, that would work out better, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, just something.
Right.
But I'm like, soften my heart for that.
Yeah.
Oliver's talking about her sons. One was misdiagnosed and has been gasping for air since birth. His O2 levels go down while he's sleeping, so I haven't rested much in 2 years. Oliver D, could it be sleep apnea? Can you abate? We had mold throughout our house. We ended up knocking down all the drywall and replacing it and haven't had mold come back in 2 years. And the mold wasn't there 2 years ago. That's the thing. The mold wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
And now it is.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're still talking about the deductibles. Any tips to start weaning Eli? I got the best tip for weaning. Go and leave the house all day and leave that child with somebody with a bottle. Guaranteed. It works every time. My child's laughing. Because that's what I did, wasn't it? That's how I weaned Leona. Because she was like not going to deal with anybody ever again. And when it came to nursing, and I just finally was like, you know what, I've had enough. Left the formula, left the bottles, and left the kid. Came back and she realized this was easy. Mm-hmm. And she was free because she was 10 months old at that time. She was free and she was done. And once she realized how freeing it was, she was done. And like I would nurse her in the evening at night when we went to bed. And for maybe another month, and then she got tired of that too. That's what I did. Please use a respirator with mold. They thought my mom had lung cancer and it was black mold from her house where the hot water busted. Jayton, I will not be doing any of that stuff because I have already dealt with the black mold poisoning. And I've had to go through a lot of stuff to take care of that. Rosalind said she found a ton of mold in her finished basement that the last owner covered up. We need half a new foundation and the other half patched up before we can finish it. How did you not get engorged? I was somewhere else and I was in the bathroom releasing the pressure, which makes me really well at like milking goats. New skill I didn't even know I had. I can milk goats really good. I just relieved in the bathroom in the sink. I was typically at my mom's house or at my mom's shop, so I wasn't like at Walmart or anything in the bathroom being a weirdo. But
can you imagine some like 14-year-old walking in going, oh?
You know, they'd be like, "Mommy, what's she doing? What is coming out of her?"
Oh my goodness! Oh, that brings back memories.
I mean, you do it in the one, you know, but that's what I did to relieve it, and it worked out well. It worked out well. It said, Rosalind said, we found all the mold not even a month after we moved in 2 years ago. That's the worst, because here's the thing: when you're living in black mold, it mimics depression. Mm. You like feel like you're fighting depression only to realize you're fighting mold. And people think you're nuts. And as a stay-at-home mom, you're there the most. My
Right.
kids were in and out of the house. And the other part is their bodies are smaller, so they're regenerating quicker than me. Because I was there the most, I was inside the most, and I regenerate the slowest, it it really helped. It really, really helped. Or it didn't help. Sorry, I'm reading something else and my brain clicked over. My husband was gone most of the time, so he wasn't feeling it with me, so he thinks I'm nuts. He thinks I'm a crazy person and I'm just creating problems. So, but anyway, 6 times blessed will one day work. Maybe try it. Best reason to try it. Get you a babysitter. Do it on a Friday. Get a babysitter for Friday. And the thing is you only need a babysitter for that one child. That one child. You don't need a babysitter for everybody. So it's easier to get a babysitter for one kid, not 6. Totally understand. Get a babysitter for the one child with the milk. Somebody that the baby might be familiar with would be helpful, but not required. I say do it on a Friday, assuming your husband's off on Saturday, because if you're in the house on Saturday and the baby's still preferring you over this bottle, then you have to leave again. And your husband's home and you can kind of go grocery shopping on Saturday without any kids. Go have that day for yourself. And before you leave, just either pump enough or just express enough in order to not be in pain while you're out of the house. And then Sunday, you should be in church, put that baby in the nursery with a bottle. The big thing is don't relieve yourself by giving the baby a little bit. Because if you give the baby a little bit, the baby's going to be like, I'll just hang out till mama gets home. That's not what you want. You want that baby, you want to leave with that baby hungry. So that baby will say, I'll take the bottle because I'm hungry and I'm past the point of not caring. When you've nursed almost a year, you can get some pretty stubborn kids. And being a stubborn child, they'll be like, I'll hold out. I will be uncomfortable and I'll hold out and I'll wait you out. And you literally want them to be like, I can't wait anymore. I'll just take it. And they'll take it and they'll be like, oh, this is so much easier. And at being almost a year old, you can almost do a sippy cup. The only thing I ran into my 10-month-old was my 10-month-old never has liked sippy cups. She's not really a sippy cup kid. She's a cup and straw kid or a bottle. And she did take the bottle, but she kind of more was a cup and straw. So that made it like really, she kind of did the bottle. It was a pain for the first 4 months. But once she got the bottle, she was good. The other part too, you might want to do is that one day off that you get the babysitter, leave the babysitter with your baby and your oldest. And I've done that too, because that baby is acclimated to the oldest. And that oldest might be more successful giving a bottle than the babysitter. And if the oldest gives the bottle when you are at the house on Saturday, that baby understands that you can get the bottle from the oldest. And so it's not like somebody new. So you essentially are going to take the next 2 weeks off and you're not feeding that baby. You cannot feed that baby. Somebody else has to feed the baby. You can be around, but that baby's going to go, oh, if I'm eating from you, I'm eating from you, not from a bottle. So it's nice like the oldest because, and even though at first it'll be like the oldest job kind of is to feed the baby, it will quickly dissipate to the point of like somebody else's. And what'll happen is that baby's old enough to hold a bottle. At 10 months old, they can hold their own bottle. No problem. And they'll be like, don't need any of you. I got a bottle. I'm good. In my experience of weaning babies. So if that helps. Rosalind says, it's been tough, but we feel like God put us in this house for a reason. I won't even get into details, but the wiring we found out there, all I have to say is God is taking care of us. So we definitely have to, I know you didn't ask for it, Rosalind, but we're putting you on the prayers today. He can drink from a sippy cup on his own. Yeah, 6 times blessed. Get out of the house and stay away long enough. All right, I have to look up a prayer request, so be chatty, Tangi.
Okay. Uh, chat. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what to talk about.
You're so funny.
So yeah, well, when you were talking about not letting your emotions get mixed up and trying to be logical, I'm totally going through that, and I think that's one of the things that's causing a lot of the stress that I've been dealing with over the last month and a half, 2 months now. And I think it's easy as a woman to get uh, your emotions tied up, to where it's hard to think logically. And I think that's just our nature. But mine is like, there's things that I want to do, but logically, there's just no time to devote to it. And it just kills me because there are things that I really, really want to do. And I'm talking about professionally. Um, some things that I had a hand in creating, and it's like, do I stay with it? Do I walk away from it? And honestly, I'm finally getting my schedule to a place where I'm content, like where I'm happy and where I can be a mom and be a professional. And it's just, ooh. So do you guys do that? Like church type, it doesn't have to even be like a professional thing, but just there's things that you're emotionally tied to, but logically, this is not really a good fit. But see, and my problem is like, I can make it work. I can figure out something and make it work. But really, if I do, I'm just adding more stress to my life. So when you said that, I was like, yeah, I'm totally feeling you. I have to turn back around. I turned toward the window so I'd have better light, and I have to see what the comments are on the computer. Let's see.
I have, so one of the things I was looking up is I have a very good friend and her brother. He went into the hospital yesterday, and they don't know what's wrong, but they think they think he has a mass on his throat, and he wasn't feeling right. He went into the hospital. They put him immediately into ICU because he just crashed. His body has gone septic. They have him ventilated and sedated. He came up. They don't know what's wrong with him.
Wow.
They don't know where the infection is or nothing. It's bad. Who said, so Candy said that they found mold too. So we're adding Candy to the mold house. And it's crazy how many people have mold in their house. And then you don't feel good. Somebody asked me what I did for the mold. Send me a message on Facebook and ask me that there, and I will send you the link. I used Blessed Herbs. I did the full, it was like $300, $260, something like that. And I did a full cleanse. I have a video where I talked about it. I didn't do an update because at that point I stopped videoing because of the stress that I used. I did a full colon cleanse. I felt the best after that. And I did a cleanse of my lungs, my lymphatic system, and I was told by my midwife, who I do my female stuff with and other stuff, to do that to clean the mold out of my body. And I will tell you, I had the most amazing relief after the week of doing the colon cleanse. And then every day I just felt better and better and better and better. I will tell you now that I don't feel like I'm walking with mold issues, but I will tell you I'm very sensitive to mold, which has ruined a lot of my coffee. I can't, anything with mold or musk, I don't do well with at all anymore. All right, so I think I missed some.
So I've asked how I'm doing.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm actually doing really, really well. I've for like people who are friends with me on Facebook, or even just on my fan page and on other things, you will notice that I'm not around very much. And it truly is me admitting to myself that I'm not Superwoman, that I can't do it all, at least not well. And that's really where the struggle was. The struggle was I want to do all of these things and just do them to the best of my ability. What happens is when you do that for a while, it really wears you down, especially when there's no stop for rest. And I wasn't doing my devotionals in the morning. I felt like I was sleeping through life, just walking in my sleep through life. And then I had a breakdown with Trish on the phone one day. And it helped because, you know, sometimes you kind of get that buildup of emotion, kind of like steam in a teapot, and you just have to let some of it out. But after I got off the phone with her that day, I was just like, I can't keep doing this. And then that's when I have to step away. I have to shut everything off and shut everything out and just listen to God and know what it is I'm supposed to be doing, because this can't be what life is supposed to be like. And what it comes down to is I've realized that I've put shackles on my own self, that I'm trying to hold myself to a standard that I think I'm supposed to be, but I'm not asking God what I'm supposed to be. And it keeps coming back to, you know, scripture tells us, let the redeemed say so. And I have a testimony. I have children that he has given me that I'm in charge of their education, and I have a husband to love and to support and to be a helper to. That's it. That's what I'm responsible for. Everything else is just extra stuff. So when I finally got to a place where I could hear God again, it made things so clear. But where I'm struggling at now, like I was saying when Trish was talking about the battle between emotion and logic, is there are things that that, you know, that I created, as far as like, I don't know, I'll talk about it later when it's all clear. But
Done.
yeah, but
Settled, when it's all settled.
exactly. But there are things that I have that I've done that I want to stick with because they're things that I love and I'm passionate about and that I enjoy. But in the big scheme of things, it's not what I need to do. And so I just have to cut the ties. I just have to cut the ties. And anyway, I'm happy with the direction that I'm going, but I have to stop putting the shackles on myself and just say, this is enough. I am enough when I do these things. I am more important to my husband and my children than anybody that ever watches me on YouTube, anybody that ever reads my blogs. God put me here for this purpose, and that is what I have to concentrate on. That is what I have to make a priority. So, whew, yeah. So I'm good. Long story short, I'm good.
I love thing. It's like I'm trying to balance so many things, and some of the stuff that's going on, you know, I just feel like I'm stretched out, and I spend a lot of time just trying to get to things without actually doing things.
Right.
Wheat Tree, I have you down number 2 to soften the hearts of your enemies, sister. I can't even imagine. Can't even imagine. I struggled to be the Proverbs 31 woman for years until I realized that she had maidservants that she directed. Now I do the best I can and pray for a maid. Amen. Amen. I did a Proverbs 31 one, and it's a horrible video. I'm not going to lie. Everything I said was amazing. It's just the windows were open and you could hear the dang bugs. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to go through it. You're sitting there going, wow. Are you sitting there just wowing over the attacks on Wheat Tree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. Well, but here's the thing. Wheat Tree. I don't even know Wheat Tree's real name. I don't know where she lives. I just know that she's a woman, and I see her, and I know that she has a love for the Lord.
And she stands on her faith, and she is bold.
Yes, and that is why the enemy is going after her. See, Satan likes it when we're asleep. He likes it when we're comfortable, and he can do his business.
Uh-oh, what happened to her?
That's okay. Sorry.
There you are.
But when we're happy where we're at, we're asleep. And then that's when Satan can do his business. But when we're on fire for the Lord, that's when he attacks. Okay.
Tatiana, I can see about making one. Or in a week and a half, I'll be at homeschool convention. And I'll actually see if I can get one of the home organizations to do a video with me for it. So I can get it straight from the source.
Oh, I want to say something really quick about the Proverbs 31 woman. We, on Mother's Day, visited my in-laws church, and it's the church that my husband and I used to belong to. The pastor preached on the Proverbs 31 woman, but he did like it was like a twofold sermon. He talked about how the Proverbs 31 woman was, she's a good model. She's the literal proverbial perfect woman. But he also preached on how the church is also to be modeled after the Proverbs 31 woman. And whenever he put that spiritual spin on it, you talk about conviction. Not just me as a mom and as a wife, but as a Christian. When you look at the Proverbs 31 woman as the church, it changes
What our job is.
Yeah. It
Well,
changes. Sure.
When Proverbs 31 really hit home to me was at my husband's aunt's funeral. What is that called? I just had it in my head, on the tip of my tongue. Her eulogy, verbatim, sounded like the Proverbs 31 wife. And it was at that moment, and I sit there and I'm like, I hope my children called about me as what was called about her. And it really, really hit home to me, and it made me realize so much. And it made me realize that Proverbs 31 is the poem of a woman's eulogy, of the bride's eulogy, if you get back into the church, not of her day. It was never written to be her to-do list. It was the poem of who she was in her life, not in her day.
Right.
And that's a huge thing. Huge thing. Wheat Tree, I'm so sorry. So sorry. So sorry. Kind of deal. I've got to go. I got to get the things my husband has asked me to do today.
I've got a big to-do list today too.
I'm thinking, is there something else I should be saying before I go besides a prayer? I don't know. It'll come to me when it comes to me. All right. Is there any last minute prayer request? I have like a to-do list. Ever since Moldy House Rentals for 2 years, I've been sensitive to everything. That is Moldy House. But the thing is that you have to be out of it to get better. You can try and clean yourself up on it, but all you'll do is repopulate your body. And you'll probably repopulate it worse. Majestic 350-year-old trees were stolen, busted up, and rust were doused in kerosene. I wonder what that means. Did that act like your trees were stolen?
Yes, I think she's saying that about $100,000 worth of damage has been done to her house or to her property.
Oh.
Yeah.
Continue. Oh, my Grace. So your sister is still pregnant. Yay! She's on week 33, right? And Tree says, yes, that's what's happening. Her property is being damaged. My Grace, we're going to continue for her sister, 31 weeks. And do we know anything about Paul, the missionary Paul? We're just going to keep praying for him, but for Paul.
I think Bandana's still here. I think she
I love this. She finally posted pictures of her daughters on Facebook, and I was like, oh, that's who we pray for all the time. So we'll keep praying for them. We'll just keep covering them. And those deployed, yes.
Oh, It's been about a month or so ago. I asked prayer for a young man that goes to our church. He is 13. He has had chronic pancreatitis for the last 2 years, and he is now having to have a transplant. So, if you all remember him, it's just crazy that so young is having these issues, and they don't know why. He's gone to Mayo Clinic. And some other places, hoping to find somebody that can help them.
What was the little girl's name that lost her grandfather the other day? Chelsea?
Chelsea.
Pray I get back on track with myself and I can work out all the things for my husband. Yes.
And Jayton, how do you say that?
I say Jayton. I got Jayton. I have Jayton down. Sorry, Jayton, I didn't tell you that. I have you down for your medical bills, your 5-year-old's ear tubes, and your 11-year-old's chronic sickness. Her chronic sickness. I got Candy and Rosalind down for their mold houses, and Kitty to get well. And Kitty in there too. Kitty's homeschool. Prayers for everyone, no matter. Yes, definitely an overall healing. I got my Grace. I got Compass for deployed.
Yes. Jeton.
Like baton with a J.
Yes. You're gonna have, and I probably will forget. Jeton. Okay. Yeah. I was like, it can't be how I'm saying it. Okay. Jeton. That's pretty. Jeton.
Her bonsai trees are being destroyed. Prayers for Oliver D says, prayers for her husband's grandfather. He has been diagnosed with cancer for the 3rd time. He's 86. Wow. Oliver.
Oh, there's Bandana. She's back. Oh, so We Tree has a
bonsai nursery. She raises bonsais.
Okay.
And somebody is going in there and destroying her product, her love.
I hate that. That's so sad.
So, okay, there's Bandana Grandma with her daughters. Bandana, I loved it when you posted a picture because I was like, oh, look, I know who I'm praying for. I can see them. Jen, Bandana, Jen, back pain. The devil is trying to win here. We're all battling fatigue. All right, that's Sodbuster. Oh, battling fatigue. Fatigue and stress. That's what we are too. All right, I'm going to pray for us, and then I got to get off and get done and get doing.
Me too.
My wild hair, see, looks different again. Now it's like I'm back to being a silky chicken. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for just allowing us to come together today to be an encouragement to one another. Dear Heavenly Father, I praise you and thank you for the technology you give us to be together in fellowship. Lord, we come to you with like the question and the thoughts of how do we get it all back together. Lord, and there's a sense of obligation that we need to have it together, but there's also the sense that we can never have it together without you. And we need you to be that key component. And as we follow you, you let us line everything back in that's important. Not what we feel is important, dear Lord, but what you have given us to take care of. And you've given us this free will, and you've given us these amazing minds. And at the same time, we have to remember that we can choose to run with it in our own fleshly ambition, our fleshly desire, our fleshly want in ignorance and foolishness to follow the world's example of what perfection is. Or we can trust in you and follow in what you have given each of us to do individually, not as a whole. You've allowed the inspiration of Proverbs 31 to be given to us. And yet we'll listen to the world to say it's our daily to-do list. Dear Lord, help us to be in relationship with you so that let us be in relationship with you so we know what it is for your will to be in our life, not in our neighbor's life, not in what looks to be the perfect life, but what you have specifically asked of us as individual moms and wives. Lord, let us not get caught up in a sense of perfection that we bad mom ourselves and bad wives ourselves. Dear Lord, let us be in whole that we are listening to you, we're being obedient, and we're giving it our best. Not perfect, but what we can. Lord, be with those that we have that are deployed and those that we don't know that are deployed, Lord. Let them be rested in your heart and having your heart, them and you in their hearts, dear Lord. Lord, be with Master Sita on her 21st birthday, and be with Aunt Katie as she's dealing with coming to the end of her life, Lord, and having your salvation and having a heart softened to receive you. Lord, be with Wheat Tree. I know Wheat Tree is special. Dear Lord, I know that she's special in your eye. I know that she seeks favor in you and not in the world. Lord, and you know her enemies. Lord, soften the hearts of her enemies. Soften the heart. Lord, you've given her a love of her trees, dear Lord. Be with her and give her comfort as she's attacked in the place of her passion. Dear Lord, be with Peace and Pantry, and thank you for the praise of her husband's new job and just helping her get on track to be what she needs to be for you. Lord, be with Tracy as she takes on homeschooling for the very first time. Dear Lord, be with her son with the bullying he received and just give him comfort. Lord, be with Nora as her husband's out looking for jobs. Just bring praise to that situation to be where they need to be. Lord, be with Oliver as her children have their breathing issues that they need help with. Dear Lord, be with the pregnancy that she has. Lord, be with her husband's grandfather as he is on his battle with cancer at 86. And only you know how this is turning out and where this is going and for the purpose it is. Just give the rest of those involved the comfort of knowing that. Dear Lord, be with 6 Times Blessed as they're dealing with that baby in the family that has got the cleft. Lord, thank you for the technology and the advancements in medical for the repairs of that. Dear Lord, be with those of us that know or unknowingly are in homes that are in mold. Lord, biblically, you warn us about mold. Dear Lord, be with Candy and Kitty and Rosalind as they're dealing with these things. Lord, bring them health and healing to come from that. Dear Lord, and give the ability to have that mold destroyed. Lord, be with Brian. Be with Brian as the doctors find out what's going on. Lord, be with Brian and calm his heart as he deals with the anxiety and the fear of not knowing. Lord, give him comfort of you. Lord, I wrap him in prayer. Let them bring him back health. Just, Lord, bring him through this. Lord, be with Jaytan as she deals with her medical bills. Lord, and be with her children with the ear tubes that they need and the chronic suffering of her other child. Dear Lord, thank you for the blessings you've got in answering our prayers. We give you praise that my Grace's sister is still carrying that baby. Lord, give just wellness and health as we pray for the next few weeks to just hold that child in the safest place it has right now, and that's inside its mother. Dear Lord, be with that 13-year-old as he's going through his transplant and the things that need to have. Bring him through this in health and wellness. Dear Lord, be with Paul, with missionary Paul as he's going through his chemo treatments, and his family and his children. Dear Lord, be with Chelsea and soften the heart of her father and her and rebuild that relationship. Dear Lord, be with Sodbuster as her family fights and battles fatigue and stress in their home. Give peace and comfort. Dear Lord, be with Bandana's daughter and her back pain and the debilitation, and just give her rest and comfort and healing. Lord, there's so many of us that sometimes don't even ask, but yet we know, and I know that you call us just a petition on our behalfs. Lord, to those unspoken that we dare not ask, but you know in our hearts is there. For those things that we need, but yet don't know to even ask or to begin to even identify our needs or our problems. Lord, let us rest on you. Heavenly Father, let us remember to come to you each and every day and lay down our burdens, lay down our sins, and repent and walk away with a thankful heart of our salvation. Lord, for those that come in here that do not know you, Lord, open their hearts and their lives up for one of your children to come walk alongside them and bring them and help bring them to you and answer the questions they have. Lord, thank you each and every week that you give us to be together. In your son's precious name we pray. Amen. Oh, the guy, little guy that showed up.
Handsome.
Oh, he's like he's growling. That's what he does all the time.
Hi, bud.
This is what he does. What's your attitude for? What do you want? What do you got a grumpy face about? What is it you want? French fries. He wants French fries this morning.
I don't blame you. I want fries too.
I guess we ought to go make some. Should we go make some?
Yeah. He looks like you, but he looks like Eric too. Like he's such a good mix of the both.
He is something. Well, it's funny because he actually does look a lot like me because he doesn't have that narrow face yet. So I'm trying to squish his face and tell me. So he still has a very rounded face, but that was my face growing up. Mine's very narrow compared to what it used to be. So he has a face a lot like mine. He's probably got the roundest face in my family. What?
I said squishy, squishy.
He's not. But then look at him. Look at this. He's like ripped. He's got like a six-pack here. He's built like my husband. Make your muscles. Show your muscles. This kid does nothing. This kid naturally is. No, you got to bend it like this. Do you see that? Is that not crazy? That's not my side of the family. He's like all pecs and stuff. At 4 years old, he's built out. Look at him. Oh, pecs. He's got this. It's hilarious. He's coming back. He thinks he's so funny. They're all like, oh, amen, amen, praying. Don't, yeah. But then he's got my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
This is all the time. He'll be like, Stop that. That's gross. All right. I'm going to let y'all go. We got to go and do things.
I do too. All right. You guys have a blessed day.
And don't worry, I'm not going to eat the French fries. Just saying.
I'd eat the fries, but I'm hungry, so.
All right. I'll see y'all later.
All right. Bye, guys.